Look at the shine on it. Look at that shine. Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. Now you join me in the new cubicle shed, as quite often you join me currently. But as you can see, it is middle of the morning and the concrete is quite clean. So here, as you can see, the new collector is here and in action. It has been here this last week installed. Unfortunately I didn't get any video footage of it being installed, and I don't actually know too much about it yet because whilst this was being installed I was away in Chamonix skiing for the first time ever. Luckily I've made it back with no broken bones or no injuries. Just a bit of pride sometimes when you fall down in front of people going down the mountain, but we've made it with no injuries, and the collector is here now, and it is doing a fantastic job of keeping these passages and all the concrete in this shed nice and clean. Now, it was a mad rush to get it all ready for this to be here and put into full use, but we're now getting the benefits of it being here. But you always hear it beeping, and there's a very distinctive sound when it is here working. Nice little hum, not too loud. The cows aren't bothered by it either, which is really nice. Once it's full, it runs back down this wall here, which is the opposite side to where I thought it was going to go, but I suppose it makes sense. If it runs down on that side, it can come over the slat and start dumping, and then when it's in its final position, it can fully dump the load of slurry it's collected from its time up and down the shed into that sump that we made. So this collector has been programmed and tracked out basically, so it's got its set routes that it goes on. It does that route, goes back, and then that is then technically that route done, and then it'll move on to the next. So we so far haven't had any problems with it. It hasn't got caught on anything, hasn't got stuck. Like I say, the cows have got on really well with it, doesn't stress them out. As you can see, they know it's coming behind them, they know it's there. That cow over there is nicely sleeping, and it just works its way around the cows. It's not too fast, they've got plenty of time to move out of the way if they're in the way. As you can see, the cows are nice and happy here, chewing away on its cud, which is good. But yeah, this was really exciting when I come back off my holiday to see this here in action. Don't quite know where it's going to go, still trying to learn the routes it's on. But yeah, cows aren't bothered by it, which is nice, and it's nice and quiet other than a little beep and a little hum from the vacuum pump which is on it. But yeah, really clever piece of equipment. Unfortunately, because this shed has got a full downwards, if there is too much liquid it will just end up pushing it because it just runs away from the machine, which is a bit annoying, but you know, inevitably it is always going to run down to the bottom. But yeah, as you can see up by the robots here, lovely and clean. And it is really weird now coming into the shed in the morning and not having to come in here with a tractor and scrape. You just rely that it's worked in the night, done its job. So far, it's brilliant. Just done this pass along the wall here. Now at some point we are going to have water troughs installed here, so this will be quite a busy area in the shed, and when the water troughs are here and the area here gets a lot more activity, this area will also be kept nice and clean. So it's going back down the middle of this passageway. It's done that far side there on the right, it's now coming back down this one, and it'll head straight back into its docking station, follow the wall back in, and dump the slurry that is now collected. I'm going to leave it follow me behind in the shed here, and we'll catch it going back into its docking station, unloading, and I'm going to go and clean the scrape tractor off. Give that some TLC that is much needed. And now, because it's not scraping out this shed and dragging slurry all the way down through the yard, it should be able to stay a lot cleaner. Because we haven't finished this shed yet, as you can tell, dung boards still need to go up, water troughs over there and here, hence the water pipe sticking out. We are going to run a water feed down to this collector as well. As you can see here, it's got a little filling station. What that will allow it to do is fill it with water, so if the shed was getting a bit dry, on the front of the collector there's a nozzle and also one on the back which sprays water, which will just keep that moisture on the passageways, stopping from going slippery and allowing it to essentially keeping it still nice and clean. So that's where it will dock into to fill it with water. There was a little nozzle there on the front and also one on the rear of the machine. Once it's all set up, that's where that will come out of. So as you can see, the collector's behind the cows here now. It's not causing them any stress. They just wander off out the way. Now, the joy of this shed, we have still got plenty of room that if the collector fails or doesn't complete its scraping in the night and you come back up and there's too much slurry that you're worrying that it's not going to be able to keep up, we have still got 2 slats here, plenty of room. That if we need to scrape, give it plenty of time so it can catch back up again and it's not going to be overlogged with slurry in the shed. We have got the vicinities and the option to still scrape if this lets us down. If the collector carries on as it is doing and it's working really well, then we shouldn't have too many problems. It's got nice long straight runs, no sharp corners, and you'd like to hope that it's a nice easy track for it. So hopefully, as long as you don't have any prolonged power cuts or anything that would stop it from working, it should be able to look after itself. Just on its last straight run to the slurry pit, what it does is it bumps into the wall. That wall is recognised as its final run into its home position, so it crashes into the wall, reverses back so it can get that left side of the collector, or right if we're looking now, in against the wall. It channels itself alongside the wall and enters in here. Comes onto the slats, it opens and starts dumping, but as it's dumping it's still pushing, so it keeps the slat behind nice and clean. You can hear it dumping there. Come into its charging position. And it will dump fully. It'll stay there until it's programmed to go again. And keep these girlies nice and clean, scraped out, and not traipsing through slurry, which hopefully in the long run the cows will get a lot cleaner. The beds should stay cleaner because they're not traipsing slurry up onto the beds because there's no slurry there for them to traipse up into it. But that's that. I'm gonna now, like I say, answer my phone. Hello. Right, so like I say, I'm gonna go give the scraper tractor a bit of TLC. But as I'm walking back through, we got the Juno back up and running again since me leaving. It's had a new skirt on the bottom, it's had a new set of wheels, could probably do with a wash, but that's back here now, keeping this shed nice and happy. Silage constantly at the feed fence. We've got bull and heifers here this side and a Charolais, don't ask why, but that's here. Juno follows the tracks across in the middle of the yard here and then ends up pushing the silage in this side as well, so these lot always have silage as well. Helps prevent waste at the feed fence, because quite often who's going to want to come out at 3 o'clock in the morning and push silage in, whereas that's working all the time. And with a Juno the wastage you have is a hell of a lot less, because the cows are always at the feed fence. They always know they're going to have silage at that feed fence, and therefore everything within reason of your feeding will always be eaten. So here's a scraper tractor. I got it soaked with a pressure washer before I went in for breakfast. I'm going to get pressure washer back out now and finish cleaning it off. The steam is really nice because your hands don't get cold, but the only trouble is you can't see. But it's a small problem to take for not having cold hands. So we'll carry on. There's quite a red theme running on this farm. Red tractor, red silage pusher, red robots, red robot scraper. So, a bit about the Juno. Ultrasounds off the feed barrier. That's where it knows to follow when going down the feed fence. It's got sensors to know how hard to push. So when it first goes up the feed passage, it's doing like a bit of a cleaning route. So anything that's been pushed out or nuzzled out by the cows goes up first, just leveling it all out so it's got a nice clean run to come back down. On its return route then, the Juno pushes hell of a lot harder. We've always got silage at the feed fence, which is what you want. You want silage at the feed fence when the cows are getting up to come and eat. You don't want them here standing around doing nothing. They're nice and happy. We've got maize going in the diet as well at the minute, which is something we haven't fed to the cows now for several years. So as you can see, the scraper tractor's there behind me, what I've half washed, but I thought as I was in the shed I'd show you something. So this is the shed that we scrape with the scraper tractor. Now we scrape this twice a day, and look at the difference. All this slurry in the passageway. It is currently now 11 o'clock, so this passageway won't be getting scraped out now for another 3 hours, which is obviously 3 hours more of slurry. And it's definitely interesting to see the difference between the two sheds, where there's a robot scraper which is constantly going around the shed keeping on top of all the slurry, whereas your conventional shed where you come in with a tractor or you have automatic scrapers, there's definitely a noticeable difference in volumes still in the shed, which is obviously not ideal. And obviously the cleaner the passageway is, the better for the cows. Could be a future thing to look at, of maybe getting another one to put in the shed here behind us, the original cubicle shed. For now, I'll carry on washing off the pride of the fleet. Well, for a 12-year-old scraper tractor, it doesn't have the easiest of lives. That should do it. Now, I find it really important to especially keep tractors that we rely on every day, day to day, nice and clean and in a good working condition. Now, this is really important for several reasons. One, we rely on it day to day, every day, twice a day. Number two, price of a new one, if you was to go out and buy one now, is crazy money for what it is. This tractor has cost us no problems along the way, small little ones, but nothing that has stopped us from not being able to scrape first thing in the morning and last thing in the evening. In an ideal world, if you had the option, you would keep it for a few years, change it out for a new one, keep it in warranty, so you have a bit of peace of mind. This is a 12-year-old tractor. We rely on it every day, twice a day. Look at the shine on it. Look at that shine. What a tractor. Keep your Fendt 939s. I've got 55 horsepower. 2-wheel drive. Right, everything's nice and clean. What I like to do now is give everything a bit of a grease, push all the water out the joints of where the pressure washer would have forced it into. We use a Milwaukee grease gun. If you haven't already got one or you're thinking about getting one, just get one. Right, so that's a wrap now for today's video. I know it's nothing exciting, but hopefully now we're the right side of Christmas with better weather, hopefully in the not so distant horizon. Hopefully gonna try and capture everything I can for you that I think is worth videoing. Now if you have made it this far into the video, I'd like to say a massive thank you for watching. If you would be so kind, if you haven't already, to go watch my previous videos, give them a like, give me a subscribe, and if you haven't already, hit the notification bell to get notified when I upload a video. In the meantime, and it's going on another route where I have no idea which it's taking this time. But if you have any suggestions of what we should call it, leave them down in the comments. And your name could be what we call this machine. Because we can't call it Lely Collector, there's too many. But anyway, thank you very much for the views in the last video and the likes, and until next time, thank you. Wonder if you can sit on it. It's quite a slow taxi.